Yes, please, you will be the first one. Hey, what are you doing here? What? To have time with me? Forget it.
Good afternoon,
Oh,
Excellencies, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to welcome you to this historic press conference on Timor-Leste accession to ASEAN with His Excellency Kairala Sanana Gusmao, Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming His Excellency Kairala Sanana Gusmao, Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, to deliver a short statement, followed by questions from the media.
Who asked you to tell all of this? You want? No, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to all the ASEAN member states and ASEAN external partners, the friends of our nation, and to my dear people of Timor-Leste. Today is a special moment for our country. The accession of Timor-Leste as the 11th member of ASEAN marks a new chapter in our nation's history and in the story of Southeast Asia. Our ascension to ASEAN affirms Timor-Leste's identity as part of the Southeast Asian family. It represents the work of over 2 decades of nation building and a commitment to regional peace, cooperation, and shared prosperity. We join ASEAN with a deep sense of responsibility and a great sense of optimism. Membership reflects our enduring commitment to regional cooperation, good governance, and peaceful relations among nations. It also calls upon us to contribute actively to ASEAN's shared goals of stability, prosperity, and inclusiveness. Since applying for membership in 2011, Timor-Leste has worked closely with the ASEAN member states and partners to prepare our institutions and policies for integration. Throughout this journey, we have been guided by ASEAN's founding values of mutual respect and unity in diversity. We are honored to join this community of nations at a time when regional and global cooperation is more necessary than ever. We consider Timor-Leste's ascension to be an act of regional solidarity in a time of global uncertainty. Timor-Leste will play its part in strengthening ASEAN centrality, advancing sustainable development, and ensuring that progress in our region leaves no one behind. On behalf of the government and people of Timor-Leste, I extend sincere appreciation to all ASEAN members and partners for their steadfast support and friendship. Together, we look forward to building a peaceful, connected, and resilient Southeast Asia, united in purpose and shared destiny. Thank you very much. Now, you can go.
Thank you, Your Excellency. His Excellency Prime Minister here is joined by Their Excellency Vice Prime Minister, His Excellency Francisco Calvo Adilai, and Vice Minister for ASEAN Affairs, Her Excellency Milena Rangel. Well, now we move to the question and answer session. This Q&A session will be conducted in session. It's allowing 3 questions. So let the conversation start. Friends from the press, please state your name and your organization before asking your question. And please kindly keep your question brief. Thank you. I'll start it with one from the right, and then one from the middle, and then one from the left-hand side. Maybe, yes, please.
Thank you. Lian Chu, Sputnik, Russia. I have a question for you. That which sector of corporations do you believe will benefit most from Timor-Leste ASEAN membership?
What?
Benefit.
Benefit.
ASEAN. Benefício.
And one from the middle. Yes.
Hi, Melissa from Malaysian Media. So my question is, ASEAN's energy transition calls for credible decarbonization. So given Timor-Leste's reliance on petroleum revenue, would you support an ASEAN-wide carbon-adjusted fiscal rule, even if it limits petroleum-funded projects?
Can you say one word by one word?
Okay, maybe I simplify for you. So now that Timor-Leste's reliance is on petroleum revenue, so do you have other plans on diversifying your revenue?
Hi, I'm Vignesh from the Malaysian National Youth Agency. So, firstly, congratulations on getting official membership. Is there any celebration or symbolic gesture to celebrate the official membership?
Come here, talk here. Come here and talk here.
Maybe Your Excellency to answer those three questions first, and then we will open for the next session.
Oh, yeah. For the first question, what the benefits? You know, we are a very young nation. We are 23 years old. In the process of building the state and building the nation from the ashes, it is not easy. That is why it took time, as I said, more than 10 years, but it had to accompany our journey of building the state and building the nation. We are still a very poor country. In the process of building the state, we can consider ourselves as still a fragile country, not failed country, a fragile country. That is why when we asked to be part of ASEAN, it was not to get benefits. Benefits in terms of economically, in terms of everything. It was not more in terms of benefits, but in terms of the reality. We are part of ASEAN. We are not far away from the ASEAN geography. That is why we thought we could be a member. But looking all of these years, looking at ourselves, looking at ASEAN as a region, as a community of nations, we thought that if we join ASEAN in many, many international issues, our voice can be heard. Alone, people will say, who are you? We are a small island state, forget it. But joining ASEAN, our voice will be heard through this big community of nations. ASEAN is well known in the world. Just see President Trump was here, Secretary General of the United Nations was here, the President of, it is not the European Union President, but somebody in the European Union, Antonio Costa was here. It means that this region is doing very well in many areas: social, economic, diplomatic, technical, etc., etc. And the benefits will be to share, to learn, because we are family, we belong to this family. It will be easier to us to come, to have better cooperation, because one of the big problems, big challenges in our country is we have more than 60% of our people under 30. More than 60%. The problem of employment, the problem of capacity building, everything. That is why the benefit will be in exchange of capability, technical capability, everything that prepare our young generation to take over the destiny of our country in the future. And of course, economically, in many areas, we come to learn, not to just to say that, oh, benefits, 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 because usually when we talk about benefit, it is money, it is, no. We are open to investments. We are open to many, many other knowledge. That is why the benefits will be more in this term. I say that because I don't know if you already know well Timor-Leste's picture, Timor-Leste's capability. We are an island, a very mountainous half island, only with 20% of flat land. That is why in terms of agriculture, it was so difficult, because before it was a little good, because it was, how to say, it was rainy. Now with climate change, you never expect when it rains. Our farmers prepare the land and no rain. Many, many problems. That is why don't think about the benefits in terms of if we will take many benefits from being member. No. We came, I expressed this morning, to learn, to gain experience, to help us to be ready to build our country. It is more in terms of this. Diplomatically, we join our voice to a very well-known community of nations about many, many problems in the world. Because if we cry, nobody will see. If we say, oh, nobody will. But with ASEAN countries, our expression of dissatisfaction or of hope or happiness will be known and felt all over the world. About the second, yes, I have to say that you are right, Madame. It was a Madame, no? Yes, you are right. We are very, very dependent on oil. But I have to tell you, Madame, that luckily, we had this, because Timor-Leste is a member of an intergovernmental organization called G7 Plus. G7 Plus in the Middle East, in Asia, especially in Africa, in Caribbean, in the Pacific also. We say G7 because in 2010 it was Timor-Leste with 9 other countries from Africa, and we established the foundation of this intergovernmental organization. But not so long, many others wanted to join, and we said plus. Now we are 20. You know, the G7 plus played its role with fragile countries. Fragile in terms of not having state, no democracy, no rule of law, or in conflict, in or post-conflict. Many of them, or some of them, are very rich countries. They have oil, they have diamond, they have gold, they have everything, but they are in conflict. In some places that I went there, because there are big countries, there are companies, foreign companies taking all the oil and gas, exploring diamond, exploring gold. The government cannot do anything. First, because they don't have money. Second, because it is not a government with a system. The companies, if they explore in this region, they give money and weapons to a group, and give money and weapons to another group, and they fight each other while they are exploring. That is why in some others they don't have anything, but because they know nothing about democracy, human rights, they are considered fragile state or failed state. We, in the organization, we don't teach, we exchange our experience solving conflicts, trying to help them to start democratic elections. Some of them after 40 years of independence, we went there to help them to have the first ever free and democratic elections. I say that because no money, nothing. And that is why we are very, very lucky to have this petroleum fund. But it demands to us to know how to expand, not to just wasting the money. That was why I don't remember, but maybe Finland that helped us. Norway helped us in the beginning of our independence to get a good, very good system on how we spend the money of petroleum fund. And in 2016, we were very proud of being the first in all Asia, the fourth in the world to accomplish the criteria of EITI, Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative. But because we are democratic, we are also a democratic nation. Now we made some mistakes. Some governments made some mistakes. Now we are correcting again. But yes, you are right. That is why we are not only trying to continue to produce, because how to say, my English is not so good, and campo, Great Sunrise, campo, how to say, the source from the current one stopped already. Now we are trying to get another one, but in the same time we are going to push the economy, trying to help the youth, especially and the farmers, to start the micro, small and medium enterprise by giving credit and trying to start pushing the economy. Yes, many things about the economy. As I said, when we started, when Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, when I told him that we would like to be part of ASEAN, and he announced it, yes, Indonesia support your intention. From that to now, you can see, you can say, oh, so long. Yes, very long, because it is not easy to deal with the problems of job creation, the problems of now that facing the climate change, we cannot be sure of producing this or producing that. Being member of ASEAN, the benefits, the first question was what the benefit? Yeah. We are simultaneous. If we produce 1 kilo of rice, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia and others will produce 50 tons of rice. If we produce 1 kilo of something, the other will produce. That is why it is not to get benefits. It is to have the door open to us to learn and to do, to be self-sufficient, because we cannot just think that coming to join ASEAN, we will get all the benefits. No. First, we have to learn more. We have to build the capability of the young people, of the farmers, and to at least what we do, it is for ourselves, because we cannot compete with anything in anything, with anybody, with anything. And about the celebrations, yes, they are celebrating in Dili and in the municipalities, because they received already the news, and some diplomatic representations of Timor-Leste in few countries. They also celebrate not big parties, but celebrate this ceremony of being a full member of ASEAN. Yes, please. Who else? Yes, Doc. Oh.
Your Excellency, Hamza from Prime Media World, UK. Your Excellency, as the population of Timor-Leste is 65% almost, is a quite young population. And of course, the education is one of the important sectors to grow the economy, and Timor-Leste is other sectors. So, what is the government is ensuring the new policies and transparencies in embracing innovative ideas in the education system?
I don't know.
Education policy. What your question is?
Yeah. What the government's plan to ensure transparency and openness in embracing innovative ideas within the education system? Furthermore, what strategic reforms do you envision to transform the education framework so that students are better prepared to acquire advanced knowledge?
Policy. We want the government policy to help the young people, because we have a lot of young people in the country, so the policy from the government to make sure that young people have access to education, better education.
Another? Oh, this lady. Oh.
Hi, sir.
Hello, I'm Gloria from the Malaysia Reserve. I just want to ask, given ASEAN's growing strategic importance amid US-China competition, what role do you see Timor-Leste playing in regional diplomacy?
Repeat.
Given ASEAN's growing strategic importance amid US-China competition, what role do you see Timor-Leste playing in regional diplomacy?
Who else?
Hi, Shannon here from the Straits Times. You spoke a fair length about Timor-Leste's economy. I'm just wondering, with Trump's statement during the ASEAN-US summit about being 100% behind ASEAN and wanting to see prosperity in this region, in Timor-Leste's view, what do you think is the right way forward to engaging with America in this region?
Trade. Difficult questions. Wow. I would answer to the third one. Trade. It is not yet our problem about trade, of Trump trade, because we only export coffee, 1 kilo of coffee. We buy everything. That is why for us it is not a matter. The matter will be with other members of ASEAN, no? But it is not Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste right now cannot say anything about this. US-China, yes, in the principles of ASEAN, we hope that the world trade must not be led by competitionism, etc., etc. For ourselves, Timor-Leste We don't see anything special, if we can say that, because we don't have too much. We are so poor country that we are not buying all of these things of. But for ASEAN, that is why I told you before, we want to join our voice to ASEAN voice. We cannot have a different voice when we are member of ASEAN. That is why, for us, solve this, and I believe that I understood that President Trump will meet Xi Jinping, and we trust, we hope, we don't trust, but we hope that they will solve all of this problem. Young people, policies, education, this is our problem. Our problem, I would say that we were colonized by Portugal, and at the time, no universities until '74, no universities, only secondary school. No many people going to school because it was no too much need of good people coming from school because no job, nothing. And being a Portuguese colony, we decided to have Portuguese as an official, one of our official language, belonging to the Portuguese-speaking countries, CPLP, Portugal, 5 in Africa and Brazil, and us. The problem was that during 24 years of struggle, the Indonesian killed everybody that used to speak Portuguese and introduce Indonesian language. Indonesian language is very easy to learn, and the policy was who doesn't speak Indonesian language is a traitor, and everybody speaks Indonesian language. When we became independent, it was so difficult to make an education system in our own, how to say, policy, Portuguese, and we try to make this system to have more teachers going everywhere to teach the children, but the problem was the difficulty of having very good teachers. And they go to the universities, they get graduations. There are many graduates there, but the quality is still very, very. That is why in my government, we are 2 years old in the government, 2.5, two and few, right? Almost half years. We try to improve the quality of teaching, especially in universities. It is not an easy problem, an easy question. It is a big problem that comes from the teacher to the youth. But it will be an eternal problem because, of course, the population will continue to have kids, no? We are looking at this. We are looking at the need to, instead of going to universities to take all diplomatic courses or all of this, if they get technical schools, to get some knowledge, to start thinking about what they can do. We used to say, don't ask the state what the state can give to you, but ask yourselves, what can you give to the country? And just to change their mentality, instead of having some knowledge, getting a job, knowing nothing. But that is why we are pushing the micro, small enterprises, just to push with credit, just to push our young people to change the mentality that it is not only working in office you get a job. If you are good here, you are participating in the development of the country. There are few of them doing very well, but we hope, because our problem economically, our problem is we import everything. But we have all of these things. We have banana, and we import banana juice. We have pineapple, and we import pineapple juice. We have orange, and we import orange juice. And we are trying to change this mentality in the young people. And I have to say, many girls and young ladies are starting to show that they can do things. Yeah? Yes? Oh, there. You. Talk. Berdiri dan talk.
So Timor-Leste, I'm Anur from BFM. Timor-Leste has been an open critic of the Myanmar junta.
Slowly.
Timor-Leste has been an open critic of the Myanmar junta in past years, which is different from ASEAN's norm of quiet diplomacy. So as a member, are you ready to adopt a more moderate stance now for the sake of ASEAN unity?
What?
ASEAN unity ni kunya sobre Myanmar.
About Myanmar. Well, Timor-Leste firmly supports the We talk with the Japanese Prime Minister, with Trump, supports the implementation of the ASEAN 5-point consensus as the principal framework for peaceful and lasting solution in Myanmar. We talked this morning. The ASEAN 5-point consensus provides for the immediate cessation of violence, constructive dialogue among all the parties, and a special envoy of the ASEAN share to be appointed to facilitate mediation and dialogue. 4, provision of humanitarian assistance through ASEAN. And 5, this is 5-point consensus, the special envoy to visit Myanmar to meet with all parties. They agree, ASEAN agreed already with this 5-point consensus. When we say ASEAN agreed, meaning Myanmar is inside there now, and Timor-Leste fully supports this approach. Our country has experienced conflict before, and we know that the best way forward is through peace and dialogue. Timor-Leste stands ready to take part in humanitarian initiatives upholding ASEAN shared principles and collective responsibilities. We mentioned this in the meeting with Japan, and Trump also. That is why ASEAN had already this 5-point principle. And we are trying our best. Well, 5-point consensus. It is already a consensus amongst ASEAN members, and we support this. Yes, you? Again? And pelang-pelang. Pelang.
Jawab dalam bahasa lebih bagus.
Yeah.
Okay. Dari sudut ekonomi, apakah fokus utama Timor-Leste kini setelah menjadi anggota ASEAN ke-11 dari sudut ekonomi, dan paling utama bagaimana Malaysia boleh membantu Timor-Leste memperkukuh ekonomi?
Malaysia bela ajuda a sair baita na parte da economia e está diversify para turismo, agricultura, aziadamente.
In many things, not only Malaysia, bahasa, di banyak sektor. Dan bukan saja Malaysia, tetapi juga banyak anggota ASEAN juga mau membantu agriculture, tourism, and sekarang saya tidak bisa bilang semua karena kita baru menjadi anggota. Ini Vice Minister for ASEAN, and kita percaya bahwa setelah summit ini, many contact, dia akan ke sana lihat dia apa saja dia bisa membantu, ya akan membantu. Apa saja mereka minta untuk ke sini untuk belajar, orang kita akan ke sini untuk belajar di apa saja.
Friends from press, we have to close this press conference because this room will be used by another country for a press conference. On behalf of the Office of the Prime Minister, we thank you for your patience and presence today.
Oh, sir.
Thank you for everyone. Just to make a clear confirmation and correction, when Prime Minister say kill everybody, force everybody to use bahasa. It's not kill, please. That's important to explain to everyone. Ya, untuk semua harus bahasa, mulai belajar bahasa Indonesia. So that's different. The intention was that. Yeah. Okay, please.
Di Kuala Lumpur, saya kesini 2004 atau 2005, sakit, saya ke rumah sakit, hospital, ada dua tim, dokter dua tim, lihat saya dari sini sampai ujung kaki, lihat, bilang, Bapak harus operasi. Saya bilang tidak mau. Ya, second team, Bapak harus operasi. Tidak mau. Harus karena kalau tidak 3 bulan sampai 5 bulan kemudian sudah tidak bisa lagi. Wah, saya stres di hotel, dan saya tinggal di hotel. Dokter menunggu respons.
Jawab.
Saya jawab kapan, karena mereka sudah bersedia untuk operasi. Stres. Seorang protokol, karena waktu itu saya presiden, ada orang protokol yang ikut-ikut, dia lihat saya stres. Waktu